So go, bust it. Bust it. Do you want to keep talking about that other thing?
No, did you have
That
something
work
else you want to add?
malakia? We'll get into the topic, but it segues from, we're always talking about fucking work and shit there. It segues from, you got to understand who you are, and you can't change who you are.
Yeah, everyone's got their own nature.
Everyone's got their own nature, and even though I'm in the position where, you were saying just before, you're in a job, but, it's CBF. It can be fucked. It's not cutting the mustard anymore, all right? I'm always looking for a fucking job, but, I'm trying to narrow down. I'm trying to keep myself focused. I got a master, yet staying in one job, getting some income and fucking sorting my shit out, all right?
Yeah.
Instead of up and down, up and down. Now, for me, the last 2 years, shit's been fucked up financially. Interest rates have gone up, blah, 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 that whole thing. Sweet. And I'm trying to narrow down my focus so I can at least put the fucking energy out there that, yep, I need a job. I need to tick this box so then I can live day to day better, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
But also, we both have a passion of we've always wanted our own business. We always want to start something. We want to do something. We want something we can grow, and we want to make fucking cash. Yeah.
Be your own boss.
Be your own boss.
It obviously comes with challenges, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not always smooth sailing, and then, some people are not cut out for it.
Nah, but we want that fucking...
Yeah,
we want that freedom and that responsibility.
Yeah, it's up to us to make it.
It's up to us to make it today.
That's it.
We don't give a fuck if it takes more work, but it's on our backs, you know what I mean?
That's it.
And it was just funny because obviously we're having this convo and I'm like... And I sent you that message last night, I don't know. Doesn't matter what happens, we spent a lot of money on trying to start some sort of business, trying to make money, throwing money over here. Very, what would you call it? Not
fishing
irresponsibly.
around?
No, but very not
Carelessly.
grounded. Reacting, not responding, just reacting like, oh, we've got to do this. Not FOMO, but acting in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, I've got this idea. Sweet. We need a bit of money. Bang, here's the money. We spend money and it's like, shit's always costing fucking money. But the return is not coming back. Whatever we may do. And, I can speak for both of us today. I think we're sick of it today. We're sick of, investing time and money and not getting nothing back. Now, there's a whole fucking host of reasons why that is, all right? But I think, for me, there's a lesson I've learned lately that I can't be too FOMO about, I've got to do this and just jump into any idea that comes and not any idea, all right? We think about shit. Before we got something, we put it to the table. What do you reckon? You reckon we can make some money here? Blah, blah, blah. All right, it's going to need 5, 10, 15 grand. All right, cool. Let's get it together. We can't borrow money. All right, there's always a little thing, I can, you didn't have a job. You know what I mean? You're always the one who's got some cash hanging around, some weird reason. And I'm always the one who's got no cash. And we're just always in that, it's either one of us has got the time, one of us has got the cash, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
It's some sort of a something. So it's not for a lack of trying. We want to reach our goals, but yeah, back to the nature. It's in our nature where we want to see this through. We want to be successful in this. This is what means something to us. This is not like a rite of passage, but it's something that needs to be done. It's a value.
It's a value we got. Yeah,
it's a value. To run our own race, to be our own kings. You know what I mean? Kings of our own domain. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. We want the responsibility. We want. It's just, it's in the DNA or in our makeup, but just in our nature. That's it.
Well, look, our dads had our own businesses.
Yeah, that's right. And we've had our own business as well. But yeah, it was more at a younger age with no maturity.
we had that convo the other day. There, I think that's it. For me, age ain't nothing but a number. But I feel like it just coincidentally these hard times for me fall around the 40 sort of age, all right, which is sweet. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but when you go through hard times, you're forced to like look within. You're forced to think like, all right, how do I do things better? You act like a teenager, like rebellious, like you got to do shit. Yeah, you're coming in swinging. You're not thinking about consequences. You're not thinking like a mature cunt, eh?
Yeah.
And I feel like just now I'm starting to understand what the fuck that means.
Yeah, look, at the age of 40, usually the mind, and everyone's different obviously, but usually the mind's thinking like, all right, sweet, I've got to take less risks, how much more physical work can I do, I've got 20 years or 30 years left in me, So when you're 20, you can get all the risk you want. You got all the energy you want. So you don't think about it too much.
Mm.
So I think that's the main difference when you're talking about age. But yeah, age is not just a number as well.
Yeah, I look at it differently.
Yeah. I'm just saying in general, that's what it will be.
That's the general maturity.
Yeah.
My maturity is lifted. My maturity is like thinking about things smarter. But I'm also someone who, I don't think about, maybe that's the immaturity. I don't think about, like, I'm an electrician, whatever, work with my hands, blah, blah, blah. I don't think about like, do I want to be doing this when I'm 65? I mean, I know the answer. I want to be doing something else. But what the fuck, like, who's to say how long that's going to go for? Who's to say when that path ends for me and I start a new path of finding a business?
No one knows. No one knows. But the thing is, we're not waiting till 65. We know we just don't like doing what we're doing.
Yeah, also, we know what we like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Yeah. We like working on a business, growing something, and yeah.
But I'm not scared of being
hard
in a
work.
situation. Hard work. I'm not scared of that, but I'm not scared. Yeah. My dad always said, never be scared of work, eh? And I'm not scared of work, but I also don't want to put it out there like, I don't want that fear of like, you have to do this by this, or this has to happen, or something.
Conditional, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're like, could be anxiety town there.
100%.
I think.
100%. No, you don't want to put limitations on yourself or anything like that.
Limitations, or you don't want to say that I don't want to be this person when I'm 65 and you are that person, sweet today, then you might say, all right, shit happens. But I think it's better to accept things the way they are. Like almost like, I don't know, the Tao. Keep going with what you're doing. Keep swinging at the plate. But I don't invite, I don't know, if I'm at 65 and I'm still working as a spark.
You don't need the extra baggage. That's
pressure,
it.
yeah.
You don't need that pressure. There's no point in thinking about it. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
You know what I mean there?
So what's the point in thinking about what's going to happen in 30 years?
Correct.
So, yeah, it's a dumb game.
So that brings me to my next point. So everyone's got their thing. Everyone's stuck in a certain right, I guess. Everyone's not flowing the way they should be flowing. Everyone's missing something.
A lot of people just chasing their own tail as well, yeah?
A lot of people chasing their own tail, that's right. And this is something I want to bring up, all right? Tell me what you reckon. Something I've realised about myself is like, I'm not, maybe the reason, I believe in like you vibrate a certain way, you attract certain things. I believe in all that shit. Obviously, we believe in that shit, you know what I mean? God, universe, creator, depending on you, you're the like the beacon. If you're sending, depending on what signal you're sending, that's what's going to happen. That's how you're going to live. In that regard, or on that point, is like I'm thinking like, all right, sweet. What's my biggest problem. I've always got these problems as far as like, you know, it's fine. It's always a battle with finances, with work. Something's not flowing in that regard. Success, business. This is all like things that you want but you can't get. And lately I've been like thinking about it hard, and I think you might know what I'm talking about. We've spoken about this kind of thing before, but tell me what you reckon. And I'm like, you know, there's certain things that I was speaking to, just on a side note, I was speaking to one of our mates the other day. I just asked you a quick question, all right? And he goes, you know, his grandfather died, whatever. And he's like, you know, it was interesting. He goes, I got emotional and, you know, I started to cry. I go, oh, fuck. I go, bravo, it's good because I know this kind of, right? And he goes, I haven't cried in years. He goes, I thought like, you know, something like there was something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And he goes, it was refreshing. I go, yeah. But fuck, that's mad. It's beautiful, eh? You know, you're a human being. You know what I mean? What do you think about that?
I think it's good. I think it's very freeing.
But do you get emotional or you can't get emotional?
I get emotional. Of course I get emotional.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get emotional.
I think some of our friends are, you know.
Yeah. I get emotional just by watching a movie.
Okay, so you do feel it.
You know what I mean?
You do feel it.
Like for example, like, you know, someone's missus dies in a movie, I'm emotional as.
Oh, you are,
right,
all right.
It's moving because I'm really in the movie, you know?
Yeah.
I
wasn't sure, we don't...
Yeah. As far as crying, like, no, I haven't cried for a long time.
Yeah. Like shit, like your eyes, you know, like...
No, there's a tear always, like, a lot of times.
Okay, that's... Yeah,
you know?
that's...
That could be... But that could even be from being inspired as well, like, mate, I'm going to get my life back on track, mate. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I feel this, you know?
Oh, inspired.
You know?
Inspired.
So that's another thing as well.
But not like...
Which also creates a lot of emotion.
Not like I miss this person or...
No, that I'm saying there's both.
Like a sadness style?
There's both.
Okay, there's both.
You know? Like, John, you can really do it, you know? Or whatever, you know? But yeah, there might be a loss of some...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Guarantee, yes.
Okay. Because some cunts, yeah, like I said. So there's that, and I was like, okay, good. So I think that tells us a lot about ourselves in regards to the things that we get emotional over, all right, or the things that we're sad about, or whatever you fucking call it. That's where the underlying thing is. That's like for instance, mostly if you hear a song or watch a movie or something like really hits you there, is there a theme to that?
Yeah, the song could remind you of past experiences, people, whatever it might be. How you felt at the time. Usually happen with songs. With movies, yeah, same, very similar.
So it's always like a past
with movies, I felt like more current. Like I'm currently going through this, you know. I currently feel this. With songs, it's more of the past. It reminds me of a time.
Right. So that's the situation, and you're connecting with that situation. But what would you say the underlying feeling is when there's an underlying feeling? What's the emotion? Doesn't have to be one word. It can be a few words.
Yeah. When it comes to songs,
does song might have nothing to do with?
No, of course. It's got it's not the lyrics in the
Pulls it
song.
out of you, yeah.
It's not the lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
For me, it reminds me of a time that I heard that song and where I was and what I was feeling.
Okay, not necessarily like it brings out a situation that might have happened.
That as well.
Completely not related to that song.
Yeah, that as well.
That's what I'm talking about.
That song was playing in the background.
Okay. But a situation that's the song's not even playing there.
Yeah.
Like it's just making you, like let's say you think of you hear some Greek tracks
Yeah.
and it might inspire something.
Yeah,
You're
it
not
does.
th-
It
you-
does. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
Non-related to that song, but it's bringing out
it
that.
does.
What,
Brings
what,
emotion.
what is that emotion, you would say? That underlying, that feeling?
Most of the times, when I listen to, let's say, a Greek song, whatever, it gives me. It comes from like hope, inspiration, a second chance.
Okay.
Um,
Almost like you didn't have hope or there was no hope. Like what's the, like, hope? Where is hope? What's the,
yeah, so for me, it's like, my life's always been like, living in Europe. This is obviously the thoughts, right? Living in Europe and running businesses, maybe working online and doing very freedom.
based shit?
Yeah. And, I'm an extrovert as well. So I like talking to people, like meeting people and not flat out, obviously, but, very business, that type, very like doing things,
Yeah, you fucking Yeah.
And I just thought, my mind's always been like, Europe's more of a playground for me than anywhere else. Different cultures, different countries, And obviously Greece is based in Europe. So the Greek tricks, just feel like I'm there, you know what I mean? I'm doing things.
Mm.
I don't know, like,
What's that? Is there a sadness? Would you say there's a sadness?
sometimes a sadness,
Yeah. What? Yeah.
like, I wish I was there.
Okay.
That's sometimes, or
So like you're missing out on that.
yeah, I'm missing out on it.
But is there something that's connected to go deeper there?
Like, deeper how?
Like younger. Like is there anything got to do with being younger? Does that remind you of something? Maybe you're missing out on that, but missing out is a theme. You understand what
yeah,
I'm trying to
always
say?
like, I'm down with Greek history. Like, I'm doing things, Greek heroes, slapping cunts, this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like being that version of a hero, making a difference in my life, people's lives.
Right.
You know.
Right. But you're missing out on that. Is that the thing? That's,
Yeah, like I'm not.
You're not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
Bravo.
I'm not ticking boxes on that path.
All right. Because I know you there. I know what's going on. You know what I mean? So, but do you feel anything to that young John, that missing out? Is that a familiar? Do you know what I mean? You're always missing out on something.
Yeah, of course. My young. It was like
This is the
Like-
theme.
like I missed out on a lot of things. Like I remember, when my brother used to go to holidays with my cousins.
Bravo.
My aunties and that. We went once or twice, not heaps.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't go. I wasn't allowed to go.
That's what
I'm
I'm
too
saying.
young.
That's what I'm saying.
Not allowed to go.
Correct.
And then I told you, in a previous conversation that I don't remember how old I was. Maybe 10, maybe.
Mm.
And I'm like, all right, fuck it. When I turn 18, mate, and no one gonna stop me, mate.
Mm.
I need my fucking passport. By that time, I'm gonna figure out a way to make money, have some money, earn some money, like be earning money, and I'm gonna go wherever I want and do whatever I want, and no one's gonna tell me anything. I'll be my own man.
Yeah. This is the theme.
That's it.
Something's always trying to get away from you.
Yeah, something's always trying to keep me at bay. Somebody's always trying to have the leash on, restrict me from doing this thing that I want to do.
Sweet. All right. Keep that like that. All right. So we're establishing something's missing It's always something's missing,
lack.
right? Otherwise, we're not sad for no
There's
reason.
a lack.
There's a lack of something, right?
Yeah.
That lack, all right, and I'll tie it to my fucking thesis here, eh? That lack is connected. There's also maybe there's a lack of, I think everything goes back to self-worth, but self-worth I think comes from love. All right, there's a love that, the only reason why you think you're not, you don't have a certain value that you do is because you're missing a part of the love part of you. Like you're missing, we take that as young cunts today. We take that as like, I wasn't loved at the value, at the height or the level I was supposed to.
You're talking about from parents or from other people or from yourself?
I don't even think you won't ever know, but you didn't get it. Because when you say to me, I missed out. You really missed out. Like, all right, we know our parents love us, right?
Obviously.
But that's the part of ourselves that's missing. Like maybe if you got that, maybe you would have felt that. Like, for you, because you didn't get that, that's your like, yeah, all right, I didn't get it. There's a deep down, it's like I didn't get it because, I don't know.
I wasn't important enough.
Yeah, which means I wasn't loved enough.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon.
Yeah. But for me, it was just, maybe I was just too young. And maybe my parents were working. My aunt and that couldn't handle more children, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
to take on, who knows?
I know, but
it definitely wasn't a lack of love.
No, but the boy inside, that's how you perceived it.
Of course.
All right, and that's the thing that runs us.
Yeah.
Now, all right, I've got my version of that. All right, when I think of stuff, and because I'm, the older I get, I feel like the more emotional things trigger me. It could be fucking just driving here there for some reason. Something, it's always I'm hearing something triggers me hard, and it's always got to do with, and I'm building to a point, but so what I mean. It's always got to do with like when I think of family. It pretty much has to do with like, I feel that I've got love for cunts, but maybe someone hasn't loved me in the way that I would love someone, or you know what I mean? I feel like I can give.
Yeah, so you haven't seen a matching frequency?
From my perception. All right? So, as you know, we're similar in a lot of ways where we're comfortable giving, but the receiving is the worst fucking part, right? And I think because there's a big gap in that, the flow of things, all right? Give but receive. I think that's a block in the signal that's being sent out. And if you can't receive love from somebody, you can't, it's hard to receive help from somebody, because that's you. Like, you can only give yourself so much. It's only one part of the equation. Like, you can only receive love if you fucking love yourself. But like, but I can give love. I've got a lot of love to give. Everything manifests itself in I know it might sound crazy. Everything kind of manifests itself in a way of love. You missing out is like, that kid that didn't get. Do you know what I mean? And that's like, it's like, how do I say in English? Like, it's krima. It's like, it's sad. There's a sadness, but I feel like you're sad, your heart breaks. It's like that. There's a love or a missing of love, right?
That's right.
So the point here is there, if my biggest sadness, because when I think about myself, I feel like almost like, I know it sounds funny, but I feel like sad, I don't know, like a feeling of like sad for myself, like the small version of myself. Do you know what I mean? Not pity, like, you see a boy, he's, on the side of the street, he's got no shoes on, and shit all over him, you're like, what's that? What would you call that?
Yeah, it's
like, how would you say krima? It's a shame. It's a big word.
It is a shame. It is a shame.
It's fucked.
It is a shame.
It's Yeah,
It's heartbreaking.
it's heartbreaking. That child doesn't
Yeah,
deserve that.
doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an injustice.
Is an injustice, right? The krima word, we've got to talk about it another
Yeah.
time, but it's a fucking hectic word
Yeah.
in the Greek language.
Yeah.
It's fucking like it says so many things.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's, heartbreaking. Bravo. It's heartbreaking. And when you think like I've got cunts back, but who's got mine? Do you feel that?
Of course.
Okay.
I've got to do everything on my own.
Right. Now,
It's
I
up to
think...
me. Isn't that blah, blah, blah?
Correct. All right. I think that kind of mindset of these experiences we've had in our life affects our power to receive.
Yeah, for sure.
And that comes in a form of, obviously, love.
But you don't believe that you're going to receive anyway. That's one way to fix it. You
How-
don't believe. If you're saying I've got to do everything on my own, no one helps me out, all right? That means, you might think it means like,
You're not even entertaining that you could receive.
that's right. But
Sorry.
you might be thinking like, oh, no one's going to physically come and help me out. But when you're sending that out to the universe, that means that not even the universe, God is going to help you out. Like, you are on your own.
Yeah. You're barring everything.
So, some people believe in chance or, luck, whatever it might be. There's no such thing as chance and luck. It's just pretty much the way the universe works. But you've shut the door on all that as well.
Bravo.
So, yeah, you will not receive, and I'm saying not receive at all, but you won't receive to the degree that, you think that you should, It's just, yeah. Anything that's going to make a difference in your life in a positive way, you will not receive.
And I think that's the biggest problem, and that's the sole reason for the problem.
Yeah, well, that explain why you're not getting these things in your life that you want. These opportunities aren't rocking up.
Yeah, it would explain, because if I would know if I think about it differently, but I know what makes me sad.
That makes me sad as well.
Correct. And it's not, that's the thing. Like, I know how emotions translate to words, and I'm like, all right, that's what I feel. If I'm feeling like, oh, I'm missing something, that means, or I feel like I can give, but no one's giving to me. No one's giving to me. Why is no one wants to give me what they got? Because I'm not open to it today. And that's how you crack the code of like what you need today.
Yeah.
Where your block, where your block is.
The block, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Um,
And we're not the kind of people that actually seek help. It's not in our character to be seeking help. But one thing is seeking help, and one thing totally closing the door from all kind of help. Because we and I just realized this the other day, like, human beings can't do nothing that's worth something without God. You're not meant to be doing everything on your own, because you don't live on the planet on your own. You live in a community. People
100%.
help out, you help out, whatever. It's a give and take world.
100%.
And no one, and this goes, I want to put it on the record, no one in the history of mankind, and in the past or in the future to come, has ever or will ever do anything on their own.
Yeah, correct.
Totally. Never. No one did that.
No.
Okay? It's always someone that was with them, God, whatever it might be, but to dig deep in our psyche, yours and mine specifically, yeah, we have to a degree shut the door. And no one coming to help you. But we thought of it in a way that, hey, I don't need anyone's help.
That's
But what it's manifested as that you're not going to get help from no one.
correct.
So that's what you're saying, which
Because
is correct.
Because the things you get from like I can do it on my own. First of all, it makes you feel strong.
Exactly.
Like fuck every cunt.
I don't need anyone else. Yeah.
I don't need anyone else. I can't get hurt as well. You know what I mean?
That's
if I have to
right.
rely on cunts, blah 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 blah.
That's right.
That's how my mum is.
Yeah.
It's hectic.
But that's closed the door off to the spiritual realm as well, which you do need that help.
100%.
Everyone does.
100%.
Everyone does. So, yeah, that initial thought which derived from the ego has really been the nail in the coffin that, hey, you meant it this way, but it's manifested in multiple ways.
You're closed for business.
That's it, you're closed for business. But yeah, good point. It's it wasn't a noble thought at all.
No, wasn't a noble thought. But so in that regard, now that we know we've got some fucking problems with receiving, how does one begin to let go of preconceived notions or preconceived beliefs and allow a new kind of shape to take form? You know what I mean?
Well, it comes down to a part of the surrendering process.
Yep.
Surrendering process says that, if you're talking about religious terms, let's say, God, I can't do anything without you, but I could do anything I want, or anything is possible with you. More correctly, right?
So, sorry, let me just say this one thing. So, God acts as like a proxy, kind of like, let's say you don't have faith in anyone because you find it hard to trust people.
Yeah.
You can use God as like a shoulder to lean on. It's kind of like I can't explain it exactly, but you're using it like, because it's easier to use God than I'm going to choose this person to rely on. So you know what I mean? You can put all your thing.
Look,
I don't explain.
First of all, I can't speak for everybody, but people in general, maybe, definitely us, we've lost trust in people. The ability of people. That, hey, this guy's going to come and help you out. I'm going to rent out my house. Maybe my mate wants to offer, whatever, you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. And I'm not saying that we're seeking that. All right, some people do. We're not seeking that. But we know that most people in this day and age, because this is the one we're living in, okay? Can't talk about the past because I wasn't there. You shouldn't rely on anybody. First of all, doesn't matter which age we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So you shouldn't rely on anybody. But in this day and age, everyone's chasing their own tail. Everyone's mentally disturbed. There's so much shit, especially with, social media, the internet. You get to hear what's happening the other side of the world. It's not about your local area, your local community. So all this sort of stuff adds to the mental stress. So people are mentally just handicapped. So you can't rely on them to do anything, right? You're not going to seek for their advice. You're not going to do anything. So that's why it comes to like, all right, you know what? Maybe it's all up to me anyway. That's why you come to that conclusion that people are fucked. So what would I ask for help from someone that's fucked? You're not.
If they're not going to do it like the way I like them to do it.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah. If you want something done, do it yourself. That's saying, But when it comes to God, we've also closed that door as well. You should rely on God. Relying on God is not a weakness. The ego says it's a weakness. You know, you're strong, you're Ken. You don't need nobody. But that is completely wrong. And I'm still down with don't rely on human beings.
Yeah.
If someone, but I'm not, but at the same time, if someone comes to help, allow them. You know, not everyone's useless. You know, but you don't have to ask for it. But when it comes to God, you should ask for it. And that builds your...
Because you can trust God.
Yeah, that's it. But it has to be... But that's what I'm saying to you. Because the ego says you don't trust people and you're strong enough to do it on your own, that means that you're strong enough to do anything on your own, even the spiritual stuff, which we know for a fact it's a guaranteed lie.
Bullshit, yeah.
You can't control what's happening spiritually.
No.
Like, you can put the energy out there, but I'm going to acquire this, I'm going to do this, and it's going to happen for me. It's not in your hands.
So you look at God as like
my
it's not
business partner, my partner in crime, my savior, my someone I can rely on.
Okay. Yeah.
The friend that would always be there. That rock.
The concept of God. Yeah.
That rock. But that I can also not only rely on, but also can be vulnerable to.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. 100%.
Hey, I need help.
Yeah, and
hey, I haven't got everything worked out.
In your mind, it's easier to trust God because I know it's a funny question.
Well, look, it's
how do you
from me and my experience lately, it's been that I've never really had any faith. And that could be in a lot of things. You know, it could be obviously God, it could be just maybe myself to do certain things in people. You know, that's why I'm not really good in surrendering, allowing. You know, it's always got to be from my hands or my mind. You know, even though we're creators, you're not creating something on your own.
Yep.
You know, so to answer your question, faith. I haven't been big on faith. I haven't allowed faith to grow inside me. I've always struggled with that. But a lot of times, from my research and my recent experiences, you know, God brings you the time of shit's not working, you know, things are going bad in your life, and they're the turning points. To say to yourself, like, all right, sweet, I can't do this, whatever it might be. And I need help. And that's the point that, because if you're doing everything on your own, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, whatever, there's no good or bad here. It's good to do things on your own and, you know, be successful and kick goals and all that sort of stuff. But the more you do of that, and I'm not saying don't do it, the more you do of that, the more the ego grows, and the less of God that you need.
Yeah.
All right. What I'm saying is that when it comes to this point, in the the shit times, you're more of a chance to let go and let God and surrender and build a foundation of faith. And that starting point is a lot better than what I've currently got. You can go there later on and do things on your own, be successful and all that, but you come from a different place. You started from a different place.
It's interesting when you're speaking and how you're laying it down, all right, because it makes 100% sense, obviously. It's refreshing. Like, when I'm hearing it, I'm like smiling because I'm like, fuck, this is almost like a hack.
It's a hack.
To be honest. I'm like listening to it, I'm like, fuck. I just like practicing, like getting comfortable imagining in my mind, like I'm actually using this hack, all right, which is like believing in God. Like, all right, I'm gonna choose to trust someone.
Correct.
Something. I know it sounds it's odd.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got this trust for this thing that
I can't see or touch.
Can't see anything. All right. I'm pretty much talking to myself. All right, which is another thing altogether. which you might be talking to yourself, doing some mad shit, but just thinking there's a concept of this being,
Source.
There's a concept of like, let's just pretend there's someone who's listening. All right.
Yeah, let's pretend.
But you can be honest. You got to be, honest, authentic, and you can kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like a spiritual, but like a digital spiritual hard drive you can lean on to hold some fucking shit for you.
Yeah.
I know it sounds.
For me, it came to a point that
spiritual AI.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Well, they say, Wayne used to say, like, people can't see God, can't touch God, so they don't believe in God. But, the electricity, you can't see it or touch it, but it's real. It lights up your house.
Yeah.
But for me, the key point is that I came to a point that I myself knew that whatever I've been doing is not working.
Right.
Okay? All this, you can do it yourself and all that sort of stuff. The ego. I've tried it for all years. Nothing's worked. So, the alternative is, let's pretend that there is this source, or there is this God.
Bravo.
Okay? Let's pretend, and let me see what Scripture says. Let me see what Jesus taught, and, what his teaching was, and let me follow that. The reason why I came to it is because, again, nothing works, but I've got nothing to lose here. I'm at my
wit's end.
That's it.
Yeah, you're
I'm
right.
at the end here.
Yeah.
So by trying something new, something that's fake or doesn't really work and all that sort of stuff, I've got nothing to lose.
Bravo.
You know what I mean? So
Sorry.
that's it. And believe it or not, it's been a couple of months. Just the thought alone of the letting go has been freeing. And I feel more free.
Interesting.
Just that alone. Nothing in the physical realm, okay, has changed. There's not $1 million in my bank account. I don't have 10 houses. No, nothing like that. I haven't gained another arm. You know what I mean? Like, just the thought that I feel lighter, to some people may be a big deal. For me, it's like massive. If I can take an extra breath, that's where all the worth. That's where the worth is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just from one thought of letting go. And I thought to myself, if I feel like this now, just, from a little shift in my mind, maybe I should follow this road. Because first of all, it can't be wrong. If I feel a bit better, the slightest bit better, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Better than I was yesterday.
Bravo.
Right? If I keep on following these teachings or this way of life, okay, who knows what else can come? That is allowing. That is allowing to receive.
Yep. Definitely. Because you're not on your own. There's help.
You're surrendering. You're not trying to control.
Yeah.
You're not controlling anything. You're just being open and like, all right, I'm open to just listen to the teachings or the way of life. And you know what? I don't have to do everything on my own. Let me put God to the test. Not that I have to put God to the test, because that's not a good thing. I'm going to jump off a cliff and let's see if God catches me. I'm not talking about that.
No.
That he says, just rely on me. Eh? And I've already put him to the test by me just allowing.
Right.
Not too much, because I'm still new to me. And I feel a bit more whole. A bit. But that bit is, for me, is a lot.
Right.
So the more I surrender, the more I give, the more I allow, theoretically, the more I should receive.
No, yeah, yes, Re, yes. No, it's an interesting one. I'm trying to see.
The concept's interesting. Like I'm thinking about stuff like this. They're all really basic principles. You know, like even like just fasting. All right, you're thinking like, what's the point of fasting? I like eating. I like this and that, but scientifically, it does so much for you. Like I haven't, but now I am connected the dots. What I was saying back in the day, and these teachings, let's say from Jesus Christ, are timeless, surrounded by mystery, like so much depth in this, you know. And you and I, just from our conversations the last few years, it could be the most basic conversation about the most basic principle. For example, confidence. We never knew what confidence really means.
No.
I know what confidence means. You don't really know what it means.
No.
Something so basic. Or self-love. You know, how can you get someone to describe what self-love means? They might give you an opinion, or but the more you dig into it, the more you realise. The more you find out about it. It's endless.
It's endless.
So it's the same thing with these principles. You know, and we're talking about universal laws. You know, people follow the laws of the government all the time.
Correct.
And it gets them fucking nowhere.
Correct.
These universal laws, these laws of Jesus Christ, God, if we're to just attempt to follow them, and that's what I'm trying to do now, only because I've come to a point that what I'm doing is not working. If this person says he is who he is, and other people do as well, and you see miracles in the church or whatever it might be, all right? And I'm not talking about specifically for the church, but these principles, I have to try it out. I'm that person that I have to try it.
Right.
And we'll see how it goes. That's it. That's the only thing I can come up with.
That's the only thing, yeah. Yeah, correct. It feels like, yeah. I'm just thinking about it. Like, I'm just trying to find a way to like connect with it. You know what I mean? I'm connecting with it in a very interesting way. Like, before we started the podcast, we're talking to Grok, and like you can ask these kind of questions. You know what I mean? If I can get good answers, you know what I mean? Say Grok is AI in the digital world, in our world, in the physical world. But I feel like, when you ask Grok questions, you're getting good answers.
You get an answer.
And I feel like, it's very deep, but the concept of a spiritual AI, for like...
spiritual Grok.
Spiritual intelligence, all right, because it's not artificial.
No.
A concept of a spiritual intelligence, asking questions, being open. I don't know. That always works for you in a sense. You know what I mean? It's there for you.
That's it.
Like, it's almost like some kind gives a fuck in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To say
someone's got my back.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's an interesting concept. Like, I'm trying. You know what? For me, it's interesting, but I'm trying to think about it from a point of like, let's say you had to say to an atheist, let's pretend there's a concept of this spiritual concept, right?
Yeah.
And you can just lean on it. Like, let's pretend someone's always listening, but someone's also got your best interest at heart. Let's make this person up, all right? Because we can do anything really there. And I feel like, it's just by thinking there's someone there and I'm thinking I'm talking to someone makes me feel better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're bouncing on something, like that's why conversations with us, right? We might be going through some challenge at work, for example.
Yeah.
The moment I talk to you about it, I feel a lot better about it as well. All right? Now, we haven't solved anything.
Yeah.
Okay? But just expressing it, gets it off my chest, it's better than holding it inside. So if you're talking to Grok or you're talking to God, whatever, and you're getting it off your chest, I think it's good therapy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
It's going to make you feel better.
Correct.
Just that alone, not even receiving an answer. Just getting it off your chest.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then receiving answers, and it gets a bit muddy. Look, when you're like, I need to make the right decision. What decision do I make?
Yeah, that part. Look, I haven't worked that part out yet, but I know through conversations with people, you might watch a documentary or something. You might read the Bible or something. A passage might be, might come to you, and that might be the answer. Now, I've had these experiences as well, but I can't tell for sure that, hey, I had this situation, this came, and that's how I solved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not that part yet. But I believe that is a thing. And like I said, for me, the main thing is I've walked one path and hasn't really worked out the way I hoped it did. So now I'm choosing to walk another path.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Because I always believe I'm connected to the source. But I also believe, like, some things that I know. But I also believe I'm the connection. The connection is partially, it's blocked. It's not like, it's not 4K. It might be like 32-bit.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know what I mean? I can get, and I feel like, I don't know, this is going to help me with the receiving part. Because if I can lean on someone there, even like virtually, if you will, for lack of a better word, you still get that feeling.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
It's weird, virtually. Is it virtually? It's kind of like that.
Yeah. It's not physical.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they're a couple somewhere.
But that's what faith is.
Yeah, it's like Drop Dead Fred.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Believing in something that you can't see or touch.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the concept of, you can take it as far as you want to take it. You can say, mate, this person can give me this person.
This entity, this energy, this source, whatever.
So, can give me anything I want.
All I know for a fact in my life, every time I've tried to control a situation, it's never a good option. And that could be just something really simple, like driving my car and there's traffic. Changing lane, come here, there. It's always fighting. I'm always fighting. And I'm just, telling God, mate, I can't do it. This is your problem. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
It's virtual assistant.
That's it. You know what I mean? Like, you're delegating. You know what I mean? Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I need your help with this one. And it's always going to be there. Now, the difference is, it might not be the help. The help might not come in the way you think it will come.
Bravo.
And I think that's the most challenging part when it comes to religion or, spirituality.
Yeah, correct.
You're asking for help, but you want it to come in a certain way. And then when it doesn't, it's like, it doesn't work.
I think it's going to be the one that is around the thing that gives you the most anxiety.
Yeah.
For example, remember when I told you, my mum told me, or you told me as well, that my mum's like, I'm going to win the lottery. And I'm like, sweat today, I don't want any money. The feeling in my heart, in my here there, my fucking solar plex fucking chakra, whatever the fuck you want to call it today, is like, fuck, you're taking my strength. You pretty much, like,
you handicap me.
You're handicapping me. That's right. Because the thing that I hold dear is like the fact that, I don't I don't want help from cunts.
But that's the problem.
Of course. So I'm holding on to that, and by you saying, "Oh, I'm gonna help you," I'm like, then I'm not that strong anymore.
Yeah, you see it as a loss. So
Yeah.
for everyone in the audience, I'm saying, like, if I win $10 million tomorrow, I was telling Ken that, that's it. We're going to buy a few businesses. It's the name. We're going to start slapping cunts, Start doing stuff. You're like, nah. It's supposed to what? We did it all ourselves. There is no... fuck pride.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
You can do way more with someone giving you I'm not saying that, if we landed at 10 mil, we can do way more for ourselves and for the world than from that point than, oh, nah, I'm going to be remembered that I did everything on my own. You're still doing it. It's coming out of you. It's your effort. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a matter of changing your perception. You pretty much, I know it sounds funny, but you got to take, I don't know.
It's just straight ego, and that's it.
You got to take the I out of the ego there, as weird as that sounds.
It's just straight ego. There's nothing other than
Even
that.
though I does have it, yeah.
But
it's getting comfortable. Some people are comfortable. Some people aren't comfortable. Because see, how do you reconcile with that? In my mind, I got to reconcile with it by saying, like, all right, if I think that everything that I get in my life, pretty much I've got nothing to do with anything, everything I get is a blessing. If I put it under that category, I could be like, then I'll be like, oh, all right, so Ken really doesn't do fuck all. Ken doesn't do anything. Ken's just tapping in.
that is doing something.
It is, but ego-wise, it's not.
No.
All right. It's another level. This spiritual realm is like, it's the art of not doing fuck all.
That's it. Exactly.
Which is like, it's like getting, and it's not hard to get comfortable with that. I'm trying to, like, sweet, today someone wants to give me $1 million. Who am I to think? Now, you might be having a story like, oh, I never got any help, and then someone's like, you might be having a convo, someone's like, oh, no one's ever helped me, and you're like, yeah, this can't be this, can't be that. Now, they might not see that was all you anyway.
But you could say I was blessed to get this.
Yeah.
And it's not a discount.
No, you have to come.
It doesn't discount Ken for who he is.
No, you have to come from that place. That's the only place you can. If you're ready to come from, like,
but that's the place you should be coming from. That it was a blessing that I got.
That's obviously yes.
But as I'm saying, if we don't come from that place, we're stuck in the old, selves.
Obviously. So the way I looked at receiving is like, I'm receiving, but it's really taking. Like, to receive is to take from Ken. That's right. That's
your thought.
That's my thought process.
The old thought, yeah. And for me, the new thought is like, I'm open to receive because, mate, if God's blessing me, I'm going to take it.
Yeah. Sometimes I think, like, it's like I have this bad dream, like, not bad dream, it's not a real dream, but this bad thought, like, someone's going to hook you up, help you out, and then say, like, I hooked you up, I helped you.
That's full on. Yes, it
does
happen.
That's fucking possible, man.
It does happen.
And it's fucking shit.
Yeah, if you get married to a chick, all right, and her dad's got fucking millions, and they give you a job and this and that, a brand new Porsche and all that, yeah, that could happen very, very likely. It was me that hooked you up. It was me that gave you the start, whatever. You owe me, 100%, because you're dealing with people.
What do you think about that?
I think, look, if you can avoid it like the plague. But if I met a good girl and she happened to be rich and her dad happened to help us out and I knew he was coming from a good place, sweet, what am I going to do?
Yeah, you never know.
You don't know. But if you're seeking a good rich girl and all that, that's wrong. You already know it's wrong.
Yeah, that's different. You can justify it.
That's right, exactly. But if you're going with a pure heart, like, hey, man, I'm just doing my thing and things are coming to me, so be it.
Yeah, fucking that.
Like I told you, no one's done anything on the planet on their own. No one.
Yep.
Some people might have the initial thought, hey, I want to do this. No problem. That was their part that they played. But they didn't physically do everything on their own. They didn't, there's a partnership. And when it comes to a partnership, let's say with God, all right, or, the universe, whatever, the universe never can turn around and say, hey, you owe me.
No, that's the best thing about it.
Like, Wayne Dyer says, like, it should be a love like the earth has to the sun. The sun's never going to turn around and tell the earth, hey, you owe me.
Well, you're a fucking poet today.
But I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of love. And that's the same love.
That's what I'm looking for.
That's exactly. That's what you've got. We just haven't realised it.
And if you haven't got it, it's because you've attracted that to show you.
No, yeah, everyone's got it.
No, I mean like as in, sorry. I just had this quick convo yesterday, all right, with one of our friends, one of our female friends. And it was like, the reason, let's say, I haven't found a woman that is that, all right, the sun and the earth situation, is because, actually I haven't put it out there either, but originally I can do things on my own, so you're going to get a girl that's
independent,
is similar and doesn't want to give too much,
which is limiting.
You're putting the
signal out.
You're putting the signal saying, I don't really want to receive too much because I don't want to owe anyone anything, and so that's
Exactly.
you know what I mean. So it's your
It's a
fault.
disaster.
It's your fault. Yeah,
It's a disaster.
that's it.
Everyone's got to know that everyone, let's say God, right? God is given to everybody. The reason why you're not receiving, straight out, it's your ego. That's it.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Your beliefs.
It's the ego,
It's the ego. Yeah. It's the ego.
which has got his dirty hands in everything.
Yes.
That's it. Your success, your relationships, anything. When I say you are only stopping you, that's what it is.
Yep.
By you not allowing God or the Spirit to assist you, that's it. It's no one's fault. It's your fault. It's our fault.
It's our fault.
We can switch it on and off whenever we feel like it.
Yeah. Correct.
That's it.
Correct. All right. Any wrapping up last words? Anything to
Last words is that
conclude.
on a day-to-day life, right now, speaking right here, things aren't easy. They're not going to be easy. Just by me believing in God, everything's not going to be fucking laid at my feet. Because it never has been for, if you look at the history of, let's say, saints or whatever, it's been quite the opposite. It's been a lot harder because, you got to test your faith. So the word easy shouldn't come into the equation at all. And a lot of myself and a lot of other people are looking, if I believe in this, things should just work out perfectly. It doesn't work like that. So on a day-to-day basis, life is challenging. You want to make a decision, work that part out, like how to make good decisions, like 100%. It's never 100%. What I do know is that whatever decision you make, if you believe, it's always going to get corrected later on anyway. So even if you made the wrong decision today, it gets corrected. That's what I believe.
Yep.
So the last thing that I want to wrap up is just that I'm just allowing, surrendering, trying to get better at the skill, because I believe it is a skill. Okay? Doing nothing is a skill.
Yes.
And what I mean by that, like if someone, you're walking down the street and someone like just told you to go fuck yourself, you can react to that. You can say, go fuck yourself. I think just not to say anything is a skill.
It's a skill for someone who would otherwise want to say go fuck yourself.
That's right.
It's not a skill for the bitch who doesn't say anything.
No, of course.
There's
You
a
know,
difference.
it's also exactly good point. It's also a skill not to.
It's not a skill for the coward.
Yeah, it's also a skill not to eat a lot of chocolate. That's more of a skill than eating the chocolate.
For the cunt who loves chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the hard cunt.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say to you, all these things now, the things that I like or, you know, I try to do and all that, I'm just trying to just do my job, keep myself healthy, have a good circle of friends, and try to, like, you know, do the best I can. And with the things that I physically, mentally can't do, I pass them over to God, and if He blesses me with these things, great.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
So, yeah, just trying to not restrict myself
Bravo.
or trying to control things in my life. Again, I'm not going to say anymore because it's something I'm trying. And you got to try first and then get better as you go. So, yeah, just really focusing on that, really. Like I had this thought the other day, like maybe my purpose is to learn more about God. And I thought to myself, like, is that a good purpose to have? Like, I felt like, yeah, that's a good thing to strive for.
Yeah, your sole purpose, taxi.
To be like Jesus. Like, how could that be, like, that could be a good thing.
Yeah, it depends how far you want to go with it.
Yeah, true. I'm just telling you, just an initial thought.
Now,
obviously.
your purpose today, if you want to grow as a human being, mind, body, spirit today. So the same way you go to the gym, you're going to go to that spiritual gym.
Exactly.
Now, if that's the only workout, like if your main goal is to get deeper with that.
I'm not talking about just reading the Bible all your life
Like,
and don't do
that's what
nothing
I mean.
else.
Like,
I don't mean
like,
that.
Are you talking about a monk?
I'm just saying, like, living from these spiritual teachings, and these spiritual teachings also do cover your physical appearance. They cover everything.
Cover your physical appearance.
Well, they do. Like, you know, don't eat like a fucking madcap. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like.
Yeah, but that's, yeah. Yes. Okay, so guiding your life through these principles.
That's it. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Not your full purpose.
No, that's it. That's
just more of a
yeah.
better way to go about things.
They're more a guide.
Yeah.
But at least I've got a starting point. That's my point here.
It's a way that must be,
that's
a way. It's a way.
I've got something to bounce off, you know? A guide.
Yeah, correct.
Which before I didn't have anything.
Yeah. It's like going on. It's like I need to lose weight. You don't have a diet. You need a spiritual diet.
That's it. Exactly. So, yeah, I'm focusing on that.
Yeah, I think we all need to focus on that today. And yeah, we're not perfect today, but I guess we've got to get a little bit less shitter day by day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's how we become, I don't know, worthy, I guess.
Yeah. Again, all I do know is the ego is not the right way to go. I know that for a fact. But I also feel it as well now, which I didn't previously.
Look, the ego's for survival. And until you need him, you know, because sometimes, you know, things can get crazy. And it just needs to be pure primal if you want to survive.
Yeah, well, we're not in a world that we're getting chased by tigers.
No. There's dangerous people out there.
No, there is, but day-to-day life, for us, if you're limiting the noise, just that alone, you've won.
Yeah. There's look, with our nature, we've got a nature there, and our nature has two sides to it. All right, it's physical and spiritual, and to a point, who you are is your ego. Choosing to be a spiritual person is part of the ego, and that's just a fact. Your concept of yourself there is in your ego. Whether you want to be a dumb cunt or a good cunt. The good cunt's ego says, I'm a good person. Ken's beliefs about himself says, I can receive. Someone's got to hold on to that fact. This so-called fact, yeah?
Yeah, the self. That's just making decisions, the self.
Yeah. Now, is your ego is it a rational ego or is it an irrational ego? Is it a good cunt or is it a dumb cunt?
I don't know. I'm saying
there's a partnership, is what I'm saying. When you say ego, it's just a very general term.
Yeah, the ego is the controlling force and makes you do decisions that to keep you where you are.
Like competition is an ego pursuit.
I know, but there shouldn't be competition.
Yeah, but if you're in sport,
Sweet.
Right, you got to compete.
You're competing, yeah.
Right, that's an ego pursuit.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to be fucking la like,
No, of course.
Now, connected to the outcome and what that means for you, are you a dumb cunt if you lose, or are you nobody if you lose? That's the ego.
Definitely.
That's saying like this and that. But like, I don't want to lose.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with competing.
Like the ego
in a sport.
Correct. The ego controls shit there, and God picks up the pieces and makes sense of it. You know what I mean? You make your moves with. You made that decision somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Believing in a certain construct. I choose to be spiritual. I choose to lean on God. That's ego based. Where's it coming from? Fucking.
It's coming from the self.
Yeah, it's coming from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to, because I think it's
Yeah,
we know what we mean. You mean anything coming from fucking like some pathetic, lacking fucking point of view.
Exactly.
There, is the ego is like fuck off. There.
That's right. Exactly.
You've got, if you've got abundance there, or you feel abundant, you feel that you can receive, you feel that good things happen to you, you're lucky, blah 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 blah. That's like it's it's a more refined version of the ego, I guess. Maybe there's less ego.
Just the true self. That's it. You're just doing what you're doing.
Yeah. The ego is more of a filter.
Exactly.
It checks like, is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's here to protect you, apparently.
Correct. But I feel like you can also...
But it's just a makeup of past experiences.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's just programming.
Yeah, correct.
That's it. So we're just trying to change the programming.
That's it, today.
That's it.
And
anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I hope that helped.
Yeah, it's a life journey.
It's a journey continues, right?
That's it.
One by one.
That's it. Hoping for the next experience.
Correct. All right, enjoy, guys. Peace.